a nice frontliner for you.
Yeah, I think Doom is the pick here. Mineski, I like Mineski taking away Super's Dragonite. Super on Dragonite, most wins on that hero by all time. Yeah.
Something I want to say about Super is that it's a Dragonite meta, man, and
he's still not doing very well. Yeah.
Well, and now
because I was looking at it when Kat was moaning about him, I thought, yeah, but he's not really got any of his heroes. The Elk's not in, the Shadow Fiend's. Oh, but actually, yeah, the Dragonite is, and the Ember is, and the
he's a
DP is,
player
and a Storm Spirit player, and a Quap player, and a Viper player, and a Raze player, and on it goes. So
I'm
no
not
real
sure about
excuse.
Super's Ember. Let's.
Yeah, but he plays them a lot, right? These are
a lot.
almost triple figure kind of picks. So
I think
anyway,
the superhero that's still in the pool that I think we might see is the Lina. He's done very, very well on that hero recently.
Yeah, it's really dangerous. One of the big problems with, I see this from, I was talking to Blitz about this earlier. I felt like a lot of these tier 2 teams, not saying either one of these are tier 2, but I saw this thread where we would see like DK Death Prophet. We would see like Viper DK. We would see like, it's like some of these teams look at it and they're like, oh, we need to take objectives, but they would have no wave clear whatsoever. Right. So I really like this combination from Mineski because Pango is one of the best wave clear cores in the game because he's super mobile. He 1-2 shots creep waves. That's always like mega value, and he's hard to be able to gank. But if we had like something like Alina, who is very adept at being able to shut down those kind of heroes once you have the Shadow Blade build, you just always fear for your life.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. The complementarity between a wave clear advantage and the ability to just hit towers after you get there really offsets a lot of what the huge wave clear on all 3 heroes on the LFY side.
We had that series yesterday. It was a DK Death Prophet combination, and it was every single time this DK Death Prophet, they were being forced to use their ultimates on their side of the map. Right. They had no wave clear whatsoever, so they were never actually able to take those objectives.
No, that's actually like when you look at, we started charting where on the map ultis are being used, and you can see it so well with Death Prophet that if she's forced to pop Exorcism in a team fight where she has no chance of taking a tower afterwards, she loses the game.
I think you need a really strong laning phase support here for Mineski. The biggest thing is that...
Does that fit the bill?
Yeah, that definitely fits the... I mean, it fits the bill like for 90% of scenarios. So right? Elder Titan is almost always good for your laning phase, but we don't know what LFI is going to be running for their safe lane.
Are we in for Pango ET aggro duel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, that was the reason why, is because Pango needs to have a protected lane. That's why Pain Gaming set Tavo up so well last time.
What?
So we're gonna have Leshrac presumably be. Are they going to do Coddle Sand King, or are they going to do the more classic Coddle Bristleback aggro duel lane?
Well, it's got to be Coddle Bristleback if you're picking the Bristle into a Dragonite, right? Like you're picking Bristle into Dragonite Pango. Dragonite has that natural armor. Pango's going to build a bunch of utility items and armor up. It's gotta, if you're picking Bristle here, it's gotta be for the laning phase.
They also they played this with the Coddle. It was yesterday against Newbie.
I was just thinking that maybe they think that a safe lane Bristleback won't be as threatened by any sort of ET lanes. I think that's wrong.
Yeah,
just because level 1 and 2, Bristleback's actually incredibly weak.
In fact, I'm just looking through their drafts from yesterday. They picked, this was against Newbie, they picked Coddle, Sand King, the Shrek, Bristle, and Lina.
So in that case, right, Coddle, Bristleback, aggro duel, and we're going to have either mid Leshrac, or maybe we can do some sort of side lane Leshrac with the Sand King. It is always nice to be able to have a range core against those kind of ET, Naga Siren, like
so
aggro duel lanes.
Okay, it's a good Lina ban because I think that would have been the 5th pick, but the problem is that you can get away with a comp like that against Newbie because they're not going to threaten you too much in the lanes. Oh my god.
Dude, LFI are on some shit right now.
Where the hell did that come from?
Okay, Bloodseeker destroys Pango.
Yeah, he does.
Both Coddle and Bloodseeker destroy that hero. But arguably, Bloodseeker was supposed to be really good in the series, the first series today, where it was against Slark and I can't remember what else, but it was
DP.
yeah.
And then also Pango in that game as well.
Yeah, it was Pango Slark. Like both those heroes hate being
That was
locked down.
Optic versus Virtus Pro
Okay.
of the day. Yeah.
I mean, so it does cut into the options here for Mushi, right? Although you could just wait, Gyro's still in the pool. I guess Gyro's still in the pool. It's got to be Gyro.
You know, because you've got Bristleback and a Bloodseeker on the same team, that this team won't scale at all. You literally just pick any core to BKB core that comes online early.
Is this win 20 minutes in or lose badly?
It's one of those kind of lineups where LFI definitely have to snowball heavily because they've got Bristleback, like Leshrac either needs to get super big. If he's a core, then he needs to be super big. He's their only real good objective taker. Bloodseeker is good at taking objectives when he's uncontested, similar to the way that TA is, but again, it's like, I think this lineup is just all about killing and dominating the game for the first
20 to 25 minutes. You have a window as LFY. It's incredibly tight. And I think Mineski is good enough to sniff that out and control the game.
Okay, let's bring in our commentary duo for our final series of the day. We've got Purge and Toby One. Gents, I don't know where all these heroes have come from, but LFY seem to like them.
You know, I love these type of drafts, especially when I've got you next to me, Kevin, because you can be sitting there going, all right.
Break out the mechanics.
Break out the mechanics. Break out what the Bloodseeker's really meant to do. Is this just meant to be a, let's just hunt the crap out of ISIS? He's normally a critical part of this lineup. Do we just shut him down, or is there more to it?
Oh, there's definitely more to it. Rupture is really good against Pangular ulti, but the other thing you got to remember is you've got Rupture, and you have other things that move heroes, and it's called Blinding Light. You put a Rupture on a guy, and then you cast Blinding Light, and all of a sudden you deal pure damage. It's really good. Not to mention what you pointed out during the draft is that they have Coddle with Bristleback, which gives you a really strong dual lane and actually makes Bristle a better hero. And especially because a lot of off-lane heroes that are typical don't have the best armor, he's going to be able to just run in and kind of crush in terms of quill damage. So there's a lot of cool things going for LFY's draft from a Theorycraft lover's heart. I really like what LFY is trying to do this game.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how they actually execute it, because that's going to be the critical thing for them. As far as the lanes go, everything is going with the standard sort of meta for now. We'll see where Jabs ends up. But is dual off lane, it will be DDC working with that Bristleback on the off lane, the Bloodseeker of Monet towards the mid, and up on top is Arfu and Super together with the SK and Leshrac combination. They'll be up against ISIS Pango off lane, Moon in the mid as the DK, and then Gyrocopter on the bottom lane. Mushi actually heading down south for now. We'll be working with Jabs, Ninja Boogie, the ET, and Bane. And that's the lineup wrap-up. There's DDC and Bristle. They're pinging out. Maybe they actually want to have a crack at this one, Mineski. So what are you going to level up? You've gone for the homing missile to begin with. Bristleback tries to get rid of it. It's going directly towards Yao. They actually want to bring him down if possible. Hit into it and say goodbye to the Keeper of the Light.
Oh, okay.
Wait, actually, Kenny, one more hit and you've actually got this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay, two more hits. Salve, Jabs.
Wow.
Turns for the Spirit. You've got homing missile off cooldown in 2 seconds time, and Bane's moving back over with Brain Sap. They can actually go for a secondary kill him and Mineski. They're not done yet. The donk will arrive, and it actually isn't that. Ninja Boogie will Brain Sap to ensure the kill.
Dude, what an outplay. That was incredible. That's very... I thought for sure he's getting at least one kill in that situation, but they were just a bit too fast and he gets out of there. And that's the scary thing about this Bristle lane. I mean, he just stacks the quills so much faster than normal, especially with the double Chakra Magic cast, that you have to get out of there instantly. But now with that kill advantage, if they can get a fast wand, fast boots of speed, that kind of a thing, they'll have more control over whether or not they can get more kills.
I still cannot believe that Jabs was able to survive to get the salve off top lane. ISIS is loving to be aggressive on the Super. Super went for the split Earth, so ISIS will have the confidence to try and outplay him or out-taunt him, either way. He's going to get up in his face, and now it's a dual lane on top, so the Bane has shifted to the north.
It's definitely a little bit of a weird lane, but I guess Lesh support has been a little popular. Just unusual that he got split Earth, I guess. Like, yes, he can do a chain stun,
that
but...
damage into Super. With the Brain Sap as well, Super drops very low, 27 HP. He'll burn the salve.
Like, this is the problem partially. Like, yes, they've got a double chain stun, and yes, Splitter does more damage than Lightning does, but he can't lane harass nearly the same. So now he's just like a hero that right-clicks from range. It's not as useful.
I love how Ninja Boogie's also... okay, maybe the gold per minute shouldn't be so far up for him, but he's at 400, almost 500 gold per minute. 1 minute into the game. With the Burrow strikes forward, getting a couple of kills, gonna up that a little bit more. Arfu body blocked out by Ice. And Ninja Boogie claims his third kill of the game, 1.5 minutes in on this Bane.
That's really well done. I think the craziest lane right now is the fact that Dragon Knight is wrecking this Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker has 4 last hits and Dragon Knight has 9. And Bloodseeker can amplify his damage by 25% and he's still being out last hit. I guess Breathe Fire does help a lot, but I'm very surprised.
Yeah. Monet, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna rotate help in for Monet to go up against Moon? That doesn't seem like what you want to really have happen.
I mean, he's just gonna have to wait a second. There's the Dragon Knight's almost out of mana, but he farms so well that now he's got Soul Rings. So I guess Monet will be able to stabilize a bit as he gets more experience and more base damage, but Breathe Fire was helping a lot.
Ninja Boogie is so posturing on this top lane. He was moving in behind the tier 1 tower looking for a fight, forcing our Fu to rotate back towards the north. He has gone for the 1 point up in Caustic. Not that really Bane's going to care too much about that harassment.
Yeah, let's go. One of the other hard things about it, they had to get Sun level 1 and his laning wasn't very good.
They had the split earth. Brain Sand gives a little bit of life back to Ninja Boogie. Nightmare onto the SK allows Ice to keep the pressure on Super and keep those 2 points of Lightning Storm away from the low Bane.
So now their lane's actually a pretty big threat now that they have multiple skill points on this dual lane, so they have to be careful there. Money is still pretty low, but on the bright side for him, he's not the biggest threat of him dying to the Dragon Knight, so I don't think he'll be too concerned.
As long as he can keep getting those last hits, he'll be okay.
Yep. Or the worrying about like a stun into a Breathe Fire that he doesn't expect, something like that.
All right, so everything is starting to settle down for a little bit. Mushi being very, very defensive on bottom lane, and rightly so. He does have stick charges, but he had to wait for the salve to be triggered on him, so to have extra life. And the dive, Bristleback, you know he wants to go for it. The ET Spirit's down here too. There is a level 2 onto the ET, but he went for the point in order as well as Astral, so no Storm to try and cause problems for a diving Bristle. But protecting Mushi as much as possible from jabs.
Picks up his boots now though, so he should have a much better chance of getting a kill. Like he just needs he's kind of like a walking damage dealer. He just in a big AoE, so he has to walk with his opponents, keep casting cools until he gets the kill.
Ninja Boogie is like he's trying to force Arfu into a fight, so then Ice can initiate the Nightmare. That's a level 2 brain step available from Ninja Boogie. He wants to extend the time as much as possible. Jump forward, they don't see Arfu. He has 56 HP and can just hide inside the Sandstorm as Ninja Boogie into the trees. The split, stun from Lashrak, not able to connect. And Super, well, he's got the damage with the lightning, but he needs the extra vision. And Ninja Boogie provides it by attacking, even though he's up in the fog of war. Ice clips Arfu in the tree, so at least it's rebuttal. Support for support on the top lane.
That was really close either way. Super almost got killed by the brain sap, but just in time pulls off the kill here. So far, a lot of lanes going semi-even, 4 kills now for Mineski, but it's not such an overwhelming advantage. They're still doing fine in their lanes.
Yep. The gold's still pretty close across both sides too. Like the net worth, there's almost nothing in it. It's a little bit of experience for LFY. But
Dragon Knight's still sitting pretty even too, so I think he's going to be pretty happy with his last hitting so far.
But is this where you really want to be when you're LFI? The panel were talking about almost a clock ticking for them.
I think they were overstating that a little bit. I totally agree that a lot. I mean, there's no conventional carry on their team. Even like Bristle and Bloodseeker sort of can, but the draft certainly looks weird. But I think they overstated it just a little bit. The Rupture and the Blinding Light and any 4 staffs they pick up, those are going to start stacking up really quickly. And heroes like Gyrocopter, this hero is strong because he does magic damage with his skills, and he needs to move to do that. If you Rupture this guy and score kills on him, it's going to be really hard to take fights. And I assume that the Bloodseeker is going to go and axe this game just because they have the Coddle combo with it. That way they can push their opponents around more and guarantee you Rupture advantage.
Yep. This will still take some time for them to build up. If they can start taking down towers, then LFY will have that injection of cash to push towards that Aghanim Scepter. But all the lanes kind of being held at bay for the moment. Maybe bottom lane where Bristleback feels he can have a crack. The donk comes out, so he cannot keep the Corpse Spray stacks on that Gyrocopter. And the one charge just fuels the regeneration anyway.
Although the missile is really effective at stopping the dive. Like, again, Bristle just wants to stay with his opponent. The missile guarantees that at some point he's going to be able to disjoint that. Kind of curious to see what build he's going to go. He picks up an Arcane Boots. I'm a little surprised considering that he also has a Coddle in this lane. I would have maybe liked to see him grab the Vanguard first, but also helps Coddle cast more spells, and he's just going to, again, run straight as a point. Look at the damage, dude.
Just push Mushi down. He's got 3 stacks up already. The Illuminate will connect. One more Nasal Goo will slow him up, and then the attack. Yeah, he can reach him with a Quill Spray. So turn your attention north, but Jabs is already running away into the dire side of the jungle, out of range of that moving SK.
Yeah, the nasal goose stack actually completely benefits him. A lot of bristles don't get any points of this until much later, like level 10 or something like that. But in this game, when you can just walk after the gyrocopter, it gives them the ability to chase. The homing missile doesn't actually do anything at this point.
Yeah. You're talking about like, you don't want to run away from Rupture, but you can't run when you don't have any movement speed. Nasal Goo, Monet, Rupture is out over on Jabs, and he has a TP, but he's holding it because Arfu nearby comes in, gets a double burrow strike because Bane was nearby too, so Monet can just go ham. The Nightmare keep SK out, but Monet now has a double kill for his rotation.
Huge amount of damage there. And that's basically what you have to do every time you get Rupture. It's a very low cooldown, 60 seconds. You just got to make sure you have a stun nearby. It's going to be Sand King most likely, potentially Leshrac. Just rotate them over, you get a Rupture kill every single time, and it's the best way for Bloodseeker to accelerate. He's queuing up a Yules now, so he's going to have the ability to do that himself in the future at least.
All right, so this is when LFY, like, Rupture's down for the moment, but it's such a low cooldown. Do they start forcing buildings? Do they force 5-man fights? Do they try and get Bloodseeker in on this? Or are you still looking for these critical items before you get into such engagements? Just let things, like, keep the status quo for now for him.
I think the only hero that's a little item dependent is Bristle, but he's okay right now because he's doing fine. And then probably like a blink on Sand King or maybe an item on Leshrac. Those are the only heroes I think that are got to be a little bit careful.
Ice is on the run back behind the trees on the top, while on bottom lane the real run begins. Homing missile will connect, but outside of range of the cooldown, not to mention the Bristleback is just so... Well, even with only 1 point up from Bristleback, he's still insanely tanky.
Yep, and getting a lot of regen as well. So I think all LFOI wants to do right now is just stabilize all their lanes. Stick to where things are, make sure that you're harassing your opponents while getting last hits. And if you do that, you'll keep catapulting into an advantage. And then once you grab your big items, like a potential Ags on Bloodseeker, that's when you start making big moves. But either way, they just want to make some kills while also getting lots of farm and last hits and levels and all that stuff.
Super's moving off the top lane. They're giving the space to Arfu. Let him catch up, get some Tranquils up and running, and potentially, like, no points up in Edict, it's 4 points up in Lightning. They can pressure other lanes, and Ice having a very similar kind of feel.
Oh,
he's running in towards the mid lane. The Nightmare's out from Ninja Boogie. The TPs are on the way. That's Bristleback to the front lines. How much damage have they got with that bump through? Ice keeping the Bloodseeker bouncing around thanks to the ball. But here comes Super. The Lightning, the slowdown. The Cool Sprays are starting to stack up. DK doesn't have the regeneration to survive it, so he has to stun. Keep Leshrac away. The Storm from Jabs. It cannot control up the Bristleback long enough. So it will be a mid-for-mid trade-off. Buki is on the run out of here, and so is Jab, so that everyone will retreat back to the normal lanes.
I mean, they get the kill, but losing Dragon Knight there is going to be a little bit punishing. Great reaction, and that's basically why Super rotated over. He's anticipating that gank. He actually got there too early, leaves, and then has to come back again. But on the bright side, they were able to get a return kill. But great execution by Mineski there. Ice comes in perfectly.
And goodbye mid.
And that was a Rupture kill, maybe? Yeah.
Yep.
Big Rupture kill.
It was off cooldown. Bane was low on life and couldn't regenerate in time. Just got the crap beaten out of him, really.
It's kind of a big mistake at this point since Bloodseeker is such a snowball kind of hero. Can't give away those free kills. Especially because on the other side of the map, Bristle's still pressuring your own carry.
They're bringing help towards the top lane. Nightmare from Ninja Boogie can set up over on SK. Super's nearby. They start the attack, but it's DK's rotation over, which make this difficult for Arfu. Wait, did anyone bring detection? The Splitter's a little bit off target. Burrow Strike. Now Arfu runs down south. They can at least waste time. DK just wanted to move in, take this quick kill and move on, but at this rate, Arfu can actually escape. Tranquils back off their cooldown timer, and yeah, he'll just walk away.
Well, I guess they just thought the follow-up stun would be fast enough. They were a little unsure. There were a lot of heroes in the area, but no huge resources wasted other than their heroes' time. Not insignificant, but could have certainly been worse.
Yeah, there wasn't as much capitalizing in the middle lane as I thought there might have been. With the absence of the DK, Moon was able to get back in time. He is still #1 on the net worth for his own team, but 700, 800 gold behind that of the Bristleback, who's now going to dive underneath the bottom tower looking for Jabs. Was TP out, top lane. Nightmare, SK taking out this one is the rolling thunder of Ice, and combining with the damage of the Brain Sap. Super just does not have the life to survive under the tier 1 or the friends to help him.
The one thing that LFY is really lacking is vision. They have none of it right now, and any of that would be able to spot this rotation from Mushi potentially. And this is actually the one lane that's vulnerable, is the top lane here with Leshrac and Sand King. These guys can be pressured. they need to get some wards down. I don't know if they've been dewarded or what, or they've just been busy. 2 wards in DDC's inventory, and I get that they have very aggressive dual lanes and they've got to be active, but if they had these wards up, maybe the Lesh doesn't die here and they're still getting more out of the map, but letting him go down there is going to mean this tower gets pressured. That means that Mushi actually gets something out of this rotation, so now he's got phase boots and he's more or less online and ready for rotations.
They're looking for a kill instead. Just push down mid lane, take the tier 1 tower. They almost caught up to Jabs, who was on the run, but that top tower belongs to Moon. Mono's taking a very long time to try and kill off this mid tower, and this is bought time for the rest of Mineski if they want you to come back to mid. There's no TP scroll for Mushi. He's on bottom lane. Will not be involved in this. DK also without one, so yeah, Mineski must have no intentions of taking this fight, not unless LFY want to keep running at them and buy more time. Jara's rotating over now. Tower is low. Here comes Rolling Thunder. As ice. Yep, he does commit to it. The sleep is out thanks to the stomp. Monet being bounced around. Very, very low on life. They just keep bouncing him out, but where's the damage? There it is. Ice brings down the Bloodseeker. The price, however, it was that movement in from Mushi, trying to come in from the right side and got controlled by LFY. That observer ward that got planted saw him coming from a mile away.
Really nice kill there. Bloodseeker's definitely the guy to kill. Chain stunning him, preventing him from even casting Rupture. Just a really painful spot to be in. And he still hasn't finished his Yules just yet. That second death, pretty painful. But at least they get the tier 1 tower mid. That's going to give them some nice rotation advantage, make it harder for Mineski to defend further dives.
That was me hitting a button.
Oh.
I'm on cap settings.
Ah.
How do I resume this game? Let them restart it. Sorry, I fin-holded.
I don't want to press any buttons. I'm scared.
Yeah,
right,
I'm not touching my keyboard at all anymore in this game.
If you need me to check any stats, let's make sure that we don't ruin the game. Hey, at least it was Cap's name and not yours, right?
Yeah, no one knows, right?
Nope.
No one knows. Well, no one has to know. Everyone knows now. All right, sorry. Let's get back and focus on the game.
I'm sure you'll be completely fine after that moment.
Yeah.
Truly embarrassing.
I'll have a blush moment. Now let's move on. Okay, so LFY, like they've just retreated to their side of the map. So is Mineski.
I can talk if you.
Yeah, please.
If you need
please.
5 minutes off. I can.
No, I don't want to pause my brain as well.
Okay. All right, they're finishing the Ural Scepters. That's the big thing here. Now that when Mineski actually focuses them, they can defend themselves a bit. They're getting out from the top lane, still trying to finish a Blink Decker of his own, which is allow his team fight to be a lot stronger. But other than that, major items, yeah, just a bunch of Ural Scepters, both ready.
Yeah. So having that, you've been talking about it for a while, so at least now you've got the Bloodseekers options. But can you force this now with the Bristle back? Like, he's got Hood, he's got Vanguard. He looks insanely tanky just to throw almost into the Wolves and instantly dewarding that Observer too. Mineski wanted this vision before the fight began. They don't have everybody with them. Gyrocopter has the TP scroll to come and join it. Moon pressuring the mid, but doesn't have a TP scroll, so he's down here with Jabs behind it. But this is just a ticket for LFY to get more aggressive on the top lane.
Yeah, the Bristle's super tanky right now. Picks up a Buckler as well. Going to be finishing. Oh, he's going to go for a mech into a Greaves after. This explains the arcane boots, I guess. But he doesn't kill buildings very rapidly, and there's actually decent solutions against him later. They'll try to set up mid, though.
Yeah, let's try. They're just trying to create a little bit of space. Fu doesn't hit the stun. Moon was also under the cover of the Shadow Blade, so he is totally fine for now.
So the primary issue that Bristle has to be slightly careful of is mostly Elder Titan Aura, which is going to lower his base magic resistance and his base armor. And he's also got to be a little careful about Heart Piercer. Ice doesn't have a skilled yet, but it does set your armor to 0, meaning that he's going to be taking a lot of damage. He can still reduce damage taken to dealt to his back, but there might be some moments where he looks way squishier than you'd think he'd be.
And with all these dodge ganks from Mineski, I wonder now, like with Ninja Boogie put an Observer Ward down rather defensively. I thought he might go a little bit deeper, looking for kills, looking for LFY's farming patterns.
I think this one's okay because his opponents are going to group up and push the tower, and a ward in that position is usually where the squishy heroes are going to be standing, sitting behind the tanky Seekers.
Ninja. You'll send the track into the Split Earth. A little bit of interesting timing. I think the Split Earth came half a second late.
Honestly, this is the nicest thing about the Yule Scepter, especially on a Bloodseeker. It helps you guarantee that you get a Blood Rag silence off on somebody. So normally, you have to get a BKB to defend yourself, but if you time this out, you can just guarantee a silence.
Attack, Split Earth, they're connecting everything they've got. Almost every single ultimate apart from Dragonfall, but that's because it's on cooldown. But Bristleback is tanking through this. They haven't got him yet. You have to roll back in with the Rolling Thunder. And finally, Ice will drop the Bristleback, stunning him so they can attack him from the front. Only way to really do it, but that took a lot. Now Monet, everyone was so low, he was running down south, but he knows he can't do this by himself.
Could have maybe cleaned up there. I don't think he realized Pango's TP was on cooldown there. Could have given it a shot, but either way, shows Bristle is still super tanky. Once he picks up his mech though, and his Greaves especially, it's going to be hard to finish him off. But definitely a nice kill in the moment. They can push out the bot lane easily, they can push out the mid lane, maybe pressure the tower. The Dragon Knight ultimate still has about 30 seconds left, so he's going to clear Ancients, maybe get some chip damage mid. Every tower that they can kill is going to give them some really nice map movement capabilities, and they kind of need that right now, especially because Mushi is playing from behind this game. I'm not super confident in a Gyrocopter's ability to be super effective this game, but he plays a little bit more passively, like sits back and only comes in when his team is partially engaged kind of a thing, then I could definitely see a lot of value out of him.
He can get the farm for it. Moon starts off with a Rupture, jabs. No TP scroll, no way to walk it out, and no one to really save him. The DK was nearby, but you've just committed the Dragon Form to fire up the Ancient stack. They are not wanting to get involved.
Yeah, he's trying to accelerate into his first item, and this is a good choice, because if he's magic immune and he's ruptured, yes, he'll still take rupture damage, but he can't be blinding lighted, he can't be pushed with force staff or other means, so it's going to give him an ability to fight. And once Mineski gets those items, they'll be in a much better spot.
He's rolling, thundering around, trying to find, if possible, Yao, but well, Yao's already moved on. Due to the tree lines, Bristle pushes the lane, they have to go up towards the top. Look for a fight up there instead.
That's good. They're going to be able to defend their Observer Ward at least, but...
That's Shadowblade. Can Nesh get the pick off? Afu, he has sentries on him, but he doesn't have it planted right now, so Moon starts the Dragon Tail stun, Ninja Boogie, and the Fiend Strip. They'll commit it just to ensure that Afu cannot Burrow Strike or Sandstorm away.
Good grab. Observer Ward would have helped out, but Invis with the Shadowblade there, so...
He even started to pull him away. Recall came in from Yao, just try and pull the Leshrac a little bit more efficiently towards the mid lane.
I mean, it's a good move. I guess both teams are kind of feeling like they need BKBs, but Mineski's doing a really nice job accomplishing both tasks. Both
they got a courier kill to begin with. Decent amount of items on it. That's going to remove the vision they want to have, but Yao in the trees, triple TP. Almost in the perfect triangle, but no stuns available to actually stop Moon's TP out. So they fight in the mid lane instead. Rupture is there. Mushi just waits it out inside the river, cooling his feet as the rolling, thundering Ice behind the tier 1 tower with the Earth Splitter from Jabs. Makes it impossible for Bloodseekers to run in and be part of that fight, so they wait out the Rupture. But it has bought time. Bristleback rotates over. The mech is up. They look for a fight. A nightmare to begin with. Ninja Boogie has to outrun this. He's got some stick charges, and thanks to the stop, space has been created. And Afu killed on the back lines. This Blink Dagger Pangolier combining with Moon to keep the pressure on. Even the flat cannon damage pushing Yao low, and Ice jumps into the back lines. Will find him. It's just one up. The other Mineski are finding LFY, and they're avoiding the big tanky cores. They're hiding around them.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. They're engaging their opponents, but all the evasive mobile heroes like Pangolier and Dragon Knight, they just go invis, look for the backline heroes, and then they just chain burst them down. That's how Sand King died right at the start of the fight, and that's exactly what LFI was hoping to have to actually get some reliable kills, but no Blink Dagger yet on Sand King. He's probably going to go try to push out a lane and finish that now, and then maybe they can find these opportunities, but they're just ignoring the Bristleback, and that's one of the big negatives of just going this ultra tanky build. Yes, they can't kill him, but he also doesn't do very much offensively, and as long as they ignore him until the end, it just doesn't matter too much.
It's that point too, like when you wanted to like Moon's building into a BKB. Like I think you have to rush a Silver Edge, try and make sure you can bring down this Bristleback, but that's not even required anymore.
Yeah.
Because you're going all the range kiting items that you require. So things like this will happen. Ninja Boogie can't really save himself. They committed the Rupture. At that point, he was dead no matter what. But that's all 5 heroes from LFY on the bot lane.
It basically takes like 10+ seconds for Bristleback to credibly threaten a hero. And it's probably going to have to be somebody like Elder Titan that feels a little worried there. So, I mean, we'll see what items he picks up afterwards. I assume he's going to make the Greaves next, since he did build mech as well as Arcane Boots, but
he's been
not sure.
He's been pretty pushed forward by taking out that triple stack of Avengers that Mineski prepared, so he does actually, in fact, buy the Greaves.
Yeah. it's an okay choice. It's going to give a lot of armor and survivability to him and his team. He can dispel from the silence and
Fight
things
in
like
mid.
that.
Here comes your initial stun. Fiend's Grip as well. Support coming in from LFY, but will it come in time? Blinding Light? No, it doesn't. The BKB being burned by DK to ensure they had enough. And do you really want to fight this? Mineski move up towards the high ground. The Yule Scepter's out over on Pangolier. A quick jump, super. Jabs coming in for the stomp. And then Epicenter and the Burrow Strike. So quick for Afu with that Blink Dagger. He brought the extra damage required to give Super the double kill. And now it's Mineski. One by one, they start to fall underneath their own shrine.
And this is like the rare case where like we killed the Bristle. We can do whatever we want now, but they ran into a team fight that just wasn't quite ideal. The great setup against the Pangolier was huge though. Ice has been the guy that's been disturbing team fights the whole time, but this time they Yules him, they go into a stun, he gets hit by a silence, and then that allows so much setup time for Sand King to come in and clean up and set up the rest of the fight. So LFY pulling back into it.
Yeah, it's the dream scenario for them, at least to try and push forward. Now, it's still even terms for both sides, and this is when you start to wonder just how hard do LFY have to push this. I don't want to bring back the full clock, but what's their win condition on the back of the heroes they've selected? Do you push high ground at around the 30-minute mark? Do you require Aegis for this? Are there any other critical items they require?
I mean, Gyro is certainly going to be a late game issue, but looking at Dragon Knight, this hero is not the same hard carry that he used to be. He's like a semi-carry somewhere in there. He's going core items, more or less, Shadowblade, BKB. But I'm still not the most worried for LFY in terms of getting out carried. Bristle always has attributes of carry potential. Cast spells, he gets right-click damage and he gets movement speed, so...
Ninja Boogie said again.
They've got ways, and as long as they keep getting kills like this across the map, it's always going to accelerate their farm and limit what their opponents are doing as well. So, yes, there's going to be a Gyrocopter, but again, you slap Rupture on this guy, and then you walk away from him as well. Or you just kill him, maybe. We'll see.
They may just have that damage for it. A little bit of survivability with Vanguard finished on the Pangolier. So still trying to juke it around, and LFY, here we go towards Roshan. Start to drop that armor of Roshan. And have all the damage in the world they really require once Bristle back. He's already on 7 Warpath stacks.
It's one of the best things about Bristle. He's so good at killing Roche. 4 picked up here, and that's -7 armor about.
ET Spirit's in there. Starts to stomp, just tries to force LFY away. Actually goes for the fake stomp into the real stomp. Only connects onto Roshan. Can they get close enough for this? ET Splitter is in a good spot. Roshan's low, 1500 HP, but now LFY, they just take the fight. Fiend's Grip is onto the Sand King, but Ninja Boogie, and once again, he is alone. Moon was taken out this fight thanks to the Yule Scepter. No one's dead just yet. In fact, it's going to be Afu. Ice doing the work. Locked in the trees. He needs more time. 1 more second, and he can push himself away. And Bristleback, he's falling. Moon's doing the job, and so is Mushi. He got the flank cannon damage spilled out, so maybe Moon can finish a lot of LFY, who's on the retreat, nice and low. Monet was on the wrong side of the river. Lashrak and Connell back towards the shrine, but with Roshan so low, Mineski will just take this.
Super close team fight there.
Buyback by SK. Are they really going to go for the YOLO? He looks for it. Afu, he's stolen Aegis before, hiding inside the Sandstorm. Burrow strikes in. Afu, he snatches the Aegis. Oh boy, I love it when he does that. The Aegis Immortal is going to burn Super, keeping that Pulse Nova going. Ice has to keep the distance, but not for much longer. Moons up, Afu, Burrow strikes and kills Ice on the way. He will not only take the second life, he will take the life of Ice.
Looked so close there, and it looked like Mineski got really flustered as he approached. They all started spreading out, being, oh, he's about to Burrow Strike, back out for a second, spread out, but if they just finished it, he had to walk all the way around to go for the Burrow Strike. There's Afu. I mean, he deserves that one.
Yeah, he does.
He went for the full walk-in, gets the Burrow Strike, lands it on one player, it starts challenging his Epi and realizes, oh, hey, I can grab this Aegis.
He really is the Aegis Lord. Love. Watch the replay. It's sweet. It's totally sweet.
And picking up the Pango kill as well, still dead for 15 seconds.
Oh, they're going again with the Dust Reveal. This time they came prepared for the DK. BKB TP out means there won't be damage to kill off Moon. But that BKB, you're 25 minutes in, that BKB is down to a 7-second duration already. They are burning the crap out of their items they got early on. And LFY, they're ready to advance. They've got the great frontline tank. Bushi's adding as much pressure to the bottom lane as he possibly can, but Afu just got brought in by DDC. Bushi's already retreated back out again. So LFY's push on top, it will also stop.
They get a fortify out of it. That's not terrible. Next successful team fight that they take could lead to an easy tower. In terms of carry potential that we were worried about, it's still transitioning. Bloodseeker's queuing up a Radiance, a very common late game Bloodseeker item. Doesn't necessarily have to buy Ags now, could be later. Never know. 4-stack on Keeper the Light for obvious Rupture reasons. He'll be very safe there. And Super's also transitioning to a Black King Barb zone.
Is that Silver Edge for DK? So finally, at least they have something against this Bristleback Ninjabuki, thanks to the double Nightmare on Monet. And now the Bristleback, they break him. There's that Silver Edge already going to work with the Fiend's Grip. Bristleback, he just evaporates. 50 seconds without a buyback available, so LFY missing a very critical piece of their lineup. The Stomp won't connect on Monet, so he is already back to the tower. The double damage DK, Frost Dragon form, they're pushing mid.
Huge grab there. The Silver Edge isn't the best item on paper, but when you can break a Bristleback like that and get him out of position, all of these tanky items really don't mean very much, especially when comboed with the Amplify of Elder Knight, or Elder Titan, excuse me. Oh, hey, I was wondering, the sleep from Echo Stomp, do you think they have Pleasant Dreams instead of a Nightmare?
I don't know. I think you'd have echoes of your former dreams.
Oh, okay.
But it wouldn't be a proper Nightmare because only Bane controls Night.
That's true. Maybe they're tied together. Who knows? Well, we'll have to ask Slack. He's in the house. They're actually going to push some tempo here. They pop the smoke pretty aggressively across the map.
They're pinging out the bottom. This is where, like, Afu, when we talked about it before, he got dragged in by the Keeper of the Line. He kept pressuring the bottom lane until he hit the tier 3 tower. But how long does he really want to stay here? The Radiant scan wondering if he's moved further to the north, but that hasn't happened. So Mushi underneath the Dire Observe Ward. This has to feel like fate. They'll wrap around the back of Super. Here comes your epicenter. That BKB from Mushi. He needs the extra help, and then your jump in. The Nightmare means that Mushi can survive a little bit longer. Will he stick around? Super, he'll deny himself. And in fact, 3 heroes from LFY. Super denied himself, but both.
That was like the panic moment where you're like, oh, we're getting a gank off, but in reality, they're ready to turn things around. It was so close. They would have definitely killed Gyrocopter if not for Ninja Boogie's quick Nightmare. Gives you 1 second of invulnerability as it sets in, and because of that, it gives him the time to cast his Black King Bar, and at that point, no more magic damage. It's a very low chance LFY was going to get that kill afterwards, so just getting there in time.
Yeah. Even if they did get the kill over on the Gyrocopter, I'm still not certain it would have been worth it. You would have lost 3 heroes just because of Mineski's rotation time.
It would have felt a whole lot better than it did, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And right now, Moon instantly crosses the map. The wave is pushed up, pops his ultimate. Towers very likely to go down. No glyph either for LFY to defend.
Yeah.
But
nice for Mineski trying to always force these issues. Just how hard are you going to force it? Bristleback arrives. He was starting the nasal goo, but Moon just disappears into the Silver Edge. And Bristle remembers just how good that DK is against him. And all of Mineski have moved to the south. Same for LFY. 5-on-5 fight incoming underneath the tier 2 tower. So Rolling Thunder comes through, gets the initial kick. Eruption is out. So Moon stands his ground in the middle of this fight. So does Alfu, but then Mushi with BKB just goes to work the Fiend's Grip. Monet, he just sat there. There was nothing more he could do from 100% to 0. Pangolier will die on top of the hill. The Super, he will be the collateral for it. 4 heroes of LFY lost. Cottle the only one to survive. And the cost was the offlaner of Mineski.
They're just encountering so many problems in these team fights. Like, the Bristle just doesn't really do anything. He's 2-6-4 now. He's spent all this money on defensive items, but so much of it just hasn't accomplished anything. This guy has like a Black King Bar or something. At least he can run in and fight, but they're just controlling him and breaking him and just killing him.
That Spirit's looking for the stomp, or looking to actually force Yao into a bad position. He cannot channel that Illuminate. He cannot do the D-push without forcing a bit of a risk of a jump. Looks like he will get it off as nighttime has... We are inside of that for the moment. Can fight a little bit more in the fog of war. Jump out, Afu gets the Burrow Strike. Moon goes in fist, but the Sentry wards it down. Rupture, does Moon just try and run this off? Jabs gets the stomp, so Monet under the cover of his BKB can keep moving forward. The thirst is there, Monet wants a target, Your Scepter up. Here we go for LFY, looking for the target. Afu again with the Burrow Strike, catching out Moon, killing him off, and they move towards Mushi. 2 massive kills that LFY needed just to make it feel better for what happened on bottom lane.
That's the best that they could grab. Super farmed heroes on Mineski's side, and I'm surprised 2 heroes died there. Would have felt a little bit better for Mineski if that was just a single, but Rupture paying off at the end, and that's going to catapult them into a really good place. Something that was causing so much pain for LFY in those last fights is no Black King Bar on left back. And even they're still lacking some carry potential as well. Once they get there, everything's going to be a lot better for their team. Even Bristleback queuing up a Solar Crest next, with a mix of evasion and armor, could maybe make the difference in the next couple fights and him staying alive. Not the most confident about that, though, considering how fast he's dying to relatively normal right clicks.
Movement's going north from LFY. I don't know if they're just trying to ensure the northern side of the map belongs to them, so when Roshan's up, they have it, but Super's using the Edict to pressure in mid lane. Mineski don't want to fight this instead. They're looking towards top lane. Fiend's Grip onto SK, but Ninja Boogie, he holds the Fiend's Grip. Blinding Light does not interrupt that, but Afu, he survives it. Ice just couldn't do enough work, so the Rolling Thunder are away. He was ruptured, but TP back to base. Pangolier is safe.
That was nicely done. Took some damage, but it wasn't that much. Still level 17 for Bloodseeker, so no rupture damage perk at 20 has been snagged just yet.
This is the never-ending issue for LFY. The bottom lane continues to pressure in. You see Ice draw a couple of blinds. Like, this bottom lane continues to push. How is LFY meant to actually look at Roshan? Like, he could spawn up in 17 seconds. That's the potential spawn time for him.
Yeah, I mean, that little skirmish looked okay for LFY. They didn't end up grabbing any kills, but as soon as it's over, they have to run all the way across the map again and just begin these pushes. And by the time that's done, Mineski's up, they're healed, and now they get some map control as well.
That's a nice rune. Who would like that one? One arcane rune for a DK who's looking for a shorter cooldown dragon form. Roshan is, he's 2.5 minutes. For the spawn time there. So it's going to be a while before Mineski can get that Aegis and cheese, but it's not going to stop them from fighting. 4-man smoke up, well out of vision of any dire wards, and thanks to their observe ward, they're watching all of LFY move into that Trinity neutral camp. So they find a different target. They're going to find Yao. Nightmare lets them get in nice position for him. The homing missiles coming in, and he can just never sleep.
It's a tough game for Cuddle so far. He spent so much of the early game just trying to help Bristle do well. Good break or BKB usage by Bloodseeker, that could have been his death. But because he spent so much time trying to make Bristleback's game good, he hasn't been able to sit back and just collect farms, stack camps, that kind of a thing. Although maybe I feel like he could have stacked like Ancients and stuff like that a little bit more. Maybe he didn't, maybe he did, I'm not sure. But with him having no Ags, it's a big limitation. He can't do as much in terms of split pushing, in terms of pulling his allies around.
Yeah, you don't have that Blinding Light combo you were talking about previously.
Yeah.
Pangolier. Where's that sentry ward? It's just out of range of Moon, but Bristle can already feel it. That bottom lane, they pushed it out with Super, but okay, I was actually wondering if Mushi would even TP down to the bottom lane. It's not required. Just because they have those mega creeps on bottom.
It's just good to do. It's a lot of farm. It's better than him jungling in a lot of cases, and he can do it really fast. He's a quick hero. He's got Ags as well as Maelstrom, so waves die quickly, and then keep the map control, look for a team fight. That's what they're looking for right now. And they've got so many more Invis heroes. Or at least they have the important, which is Dragonite, who's got a Blink and a Silver Edge. He should be able to find those openings, and they can start a fight with it.
Life is so hard for LFY. They smoked underneath the Radiant Observer ward, so Mineski, they just sit in the high ground area. Cooldown can be used to force the mid lane out a little bit further. That Observer ward's going to go down to the sentry that's already in mid. The creep wave does the dirty work for Mineski. But DK under the cover of Silver Edge, there's the smoke break and jump away from the SK. Afu knows this is not to be had, but Mineski, they want it. They smoked themselves.
It's good movement here. They're going to sprint right in through the creep wave. Are they going to open on Bristleback, really?
Yeah, they're opening up on Bristleback. The jump forward, the stuns. They didn't actually break him, however. There we go. There's the split. With the Earth Splitter to hold him in position. The run is out. Pangolier, a little bit of trouble. He was ruptured. Jumps further in, and Monet goes for it. The Blinding Light, and he'll eventually kill himself, just purely on rupture. Bristleback bought back, which is why Mineski are all on full retreat. I say that as Moon's in the backlines killing off Afu.
It was good initiation. They actually did break him right at the start of the fight. Another stun on the Bristle means they're going to be able to secure the kill. And spending money on buyback is actually just a big detriment to him.
If he can get the Aegis, the Immortal will make this worth it. Pango is down for a full minute. But that bottom lane, here it comes again, is pushing into the base. So Super has to come back to defend it. They can't just commit into Roshan just yet, LFY. Unless they do that. Okay, TP him down, recall him over. They're going to attempt Roshan. Very difficult task for LFY.
The power of the Elder Titan in the area, but there is a dead Pangolier for 40 seconds. They have an opportunity here.
No Dragon Form for 52 seconds too.
So it sounds like it's decent time for them to take this. The Sand King's going to be TPing out across the map trying to get here in time, but will they be able to? They've got to really work on Roche right now. They've got all the best amplifiers. But oh, Bloodseeker took so much damage from that clap. He might die.
The stomp up. At least he got the Yules off before the stomp connected. Nightmare makes this difficult. They're buying time, Mineski. 10 seconds till Ice is back alive. Afu jumps in. Mushi has the BKB to protect himself from it at the moment. But there's your Rupture out. Say goodbye to Yao. They want more. Moon's BKB just let him stand his ground. Not so great for Mushi, however. Ruptured up. He has buyback available. The Pangolier into the world of the fight. Elder Titan brought down by LFY. The 4 remaining players that were there. Now 5 thanks to the buyback on Connell. They're fighting together as a team.
No.
They have the epicenter. Mushi jumped over towards the shrine, but they haven't killed him yet. They will still, however. They'll find him. And the extra help from LFY is still fighting strong. The Nightmare bristleback forced to sit there for the moment. Ninjabugi feeds Grips available. Monet, you'll have to cancel almost instantly as Moon can now start the attack. They're bringing him down, and it will be enough to bristleback. The Greens is off for cooldown in 4 seconds time. He's staying close enough to continue the fight. LFY, they're buying back so much. The Bloodseeker's running in. Super, he's on the run with 74 HP. The Spirit from Jabs will kill him off. And now Moon, blink yourself in. He wants to try and break the keeper of the life, but the Nightmare, it actually stops him for the moment. Triple kill for Jabs. They want to keep going because the buyback's coming thick and fast. Not to mention a tier 4 tower died in the middle of all of this fight. But LFY, they TP the front lines. They wanted to keep this up. And here's your run. Moon, the split up. No, he'll just BKB. Turns onto Super. Go forward. They have the stun. They keep the control. Moon TP's out just in time. The Burrow Strike from Afu. A millisecond too late. And Monet can't catch up to anybody else. This tier 4 tower is now clinging to life in the LFY base, but LFY committed so many buybacks to make this work.
I mean, they weren't the only ones. Both teams spending a lot in terms of buybacks. It's like half of the heroes in this game instantly dying and buying back. But the last tier 4 died? Oh, this is so bad for LFY now. I mean, we've seen some thrones die in some weird ways the last couple days, but man, losing your tier 4s to a set of catapults in that really long fight, that is the biggest casualty in that whole engagement.
Do they find Ninjabugi? He's hiding in the tree. Afu put down the observer board, yet now they see him. Do you want to react? Afu, oh no, it feels too good to be true. Funny thing is, it was. There wasn't anyone really nearby to help out Ninjabugi. They could have got the kill and got out. But they're playing it safe.
And all these fights just feel so hard for LFY. Like, they've got some chain burst kind of stuff, but every time that Dragon Knight picks a target, he gets a kill, is what it feels like. The break, the right click, even like heroes like Coddle are just super vulnerable still, and still no ags on him.
Bristle's dead. Fiend stripped out. There's your jump forward. There's not even a reason to break him at this point. 100 seconds on the sideline. No way for the Bristleback to come back to the world of the living. This will be Aegis and Cheese for Mineski if they want that. Or either that, they just push high ground.
I feel like LFY has some potential here to engage if they see the right opening, and I'm sure they're going to go for a kill.
Oh, it's Afu. You saw what he did last time. He'll go for it again. They don't have the observe ward close enough to see everything. There's too many sentries down from Mineski. These supports are so rich.
They're in the right position, though. Ninjabugi in the front to break the smokes. Elder Titan's going to be scouting things out with his spirit, and it does look like LFY will back up. Yeah. This is not all bad for LFY. This will give DDC a little bit of time to take creeps, and that should get him a little bit closer to the axe. But he's still got so much to go in terms of gold.
They're going to have 50 seconds. A 50-second window for Mineski just to go straight down mid.
And just ISSI is being really safe there. Does not want to mess around with anybody being able to blink in. He's got a Lincoln Sphere on his hero as well now, so Rupture is going to be a lot harder for the Bloodseeker to apply.
Yep. Actually, yeah, really thought he would save that Rolling Thunder for the fight, but as he said, very, very defensive. Mineski have the creep wave pushing up through mid, so no more backdoor regeneration to find through Moon. Quickly into Dragon Form, jumps up, attacking the tier 3 tower. But right pushes him a little bit further away, but not that hard. Fortification's the only thing delaying Mineski. This wears off now. LFY, how do you want to play this? You don't have a Bristleback for 13 seconds. He's your front liner. I think the only thing they could probably do is defend the third lane of Rax. This Moon is taking this mid one pretty well. 5 seconds still, Bristleback. There's your Blink Burrow Strike. Afu buys time. Mushi still on the front lines. He's the one with the Aegis model, so the second life. Quick TP to the front lines, but Mineski are already in full retreat. LFY, they can't catch any of them.
And they're being so disciplined this game. Mineski's doing a great job. Just very safe pushing. Dragon Knight in the upper left, having the gyro be a little bit to the bottom right. That way both heroes can't get caught with a double stun. All they have to do is sit back and just be careful. Wait for those Bristleback pickoffs that present themselves or any other core that they find. Like, Bristle just hasn't actually felt like any kind of a hero this game. 3-8-9 is his KDA. Yes, he's getting last hits. Yes, he's generally tanky, but as long as the Dragon Knight is there, and almost always so has the Elder Titan, they got those two heroes, that guy dies every single time.
Yeah.
I don't even know what items he gets.
And before they even had the items or the levels to deal with him, they just kited him perfectly. Mineski, you saved their discipline and pulling back out. There's also positioning the fights. It'll be tested now. Moon jumps forward, starts over on Arfu. They remove the SP. Even Beatska from Ninja Boogie going onto him. The ET splitter is locked to Bristleback. He has to sit in the back lines, almost sleeping, really sleeping. It's a nightmare fight for LFY because everyone is dying. Super will go down to Jabs in just a second. The Bristleback has been isolated, and there it is. GG is the call. 41 minutes in. LFY, they know there is no winning when it comes to team fights against this Mineski lineup.
They just couldn't do it there, and especially in the last fight. It felt like the LFY never really convincingly won a team fight outside of like one or two situations, and so many of their heroes just felt like they're on the back foot. But honestly, a lot of that was just Mineski from beginning to end of the game, almost always setting up those ganks in a really smart way. They always prioritize